Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading. And hi, for those of you who are new to me, my name is Kelly Lunt. I'm an intuitive channel, a medium, a law of attraction expert. I essentially love to help you get happy, hear what your next step is, but also take your next step and then build a plan that's going to help you to get towards your manifestation because you got to enjoy the journey to get there, right? Without further ado, Cancer, the big theme in your life right now. Oh wow, how interesting. It's how do you protect what's important to you without stepping on other people's toes? How do you It's that balance between willing to like defend yourself and fight for yourself without coming across too aggressive, without losing friends in the process. But it's also that balance between like, but I'm not going to self-sacrifice to keep a friend because then you're not a friend, right? So you're just kind of, am I self-sacrificing? Am I people pleasing? Am I protecting myself too hard? Because if you self-sacrifice, you lose the relationship anyway, right? Because you've lost the relationship with yourself. You're not being authentic. You're eventually going to get sick of it and leave. If you fight too hard, you're too aggressive and the other person ends up leaving. So you're like really like, and you're really weighing on down like, but I was just protecting what I thought was important. I wasn't too unjust with what I did. I was just trying to protect myself. So there's a little bit of like, that's your overall theme, but there's also like, it looks like there was something in your past that you're like grappling with. Like, I wasn't too hard, was I? Like, they just needed to understand how serious it was, how big of a deal it was. Like, they're the ones who misstepped upon me. Why am I the one being punished? Kind of an energy to it. What I can say about that, guys, is that, you know, you don't know why they did what they did. You can certainly be smart, be intuitive, and maybe come to the 80-90% accurate why. Um, but that doesn't mean you know the full reason of like why they did it. So it's like, which is one thing these cards are saying is you don't know the other person's intentions. You've got to like stop judging their intentions. Like, and it's like once you can like, because it almost seems like whatever the other person did to you, you like took it personal, which is what made you like fight so valiantly to defend it. Like, no, you're misstepping upon me. If you do that, I'm gonna lose my house. But like maybe that was an overreaction, and you realize, oh, I would have never lost my house actually. Well, hey, wait, we can still be friends, right? And the other person's like, bro, you like threatened a legal lawsuit. You took it out of friend zone. So the other person's like, so that's why it's like, it's a sticky situation, whatever it is that happened. Your overall theme is how do you find that balance between people pleasing, boundaries? How do you find the balance where you get to maintain like healthy, happy, harmonious relationships? And these two cards literally just keep saying, once you let go of judging the other person's intentions or why you think they did what they did, it seems like you're going to go down a series of epiphanies and insights on your own. If you guys would like my help on that, I'll put a link in the comments. You can either book a power hour if you want a live call, or you can purchase a recorded video and watch it in your own leisure time at home. Okay, so it looks like what's going on in the day to day of this theme is you're really starting to recognize that it's not necessarily about success and accomplishment and achieving. Like you like that, you like where you are career wise and where you can go, but you're also starting to realize that it's also about like looking back and going, I feel proud of myself for how I acted. It's like looking back and but it's like looking back fondly. So you're starting to recognize, well, Cancer, I'm going to be bold that I don't think you're aware of this yet. You're starting to become aware that it's also about bringing people along with you. What friendship circle do you have? Like, let's say you moved to a new city and you were there, you conquered your career. There's now like this moment of like, oh, well, damn, if I leave, like, I'm always going to look back at that city as it's where I like conquered and grew my career, but I didn't grow too many close friend circle groups that it's going to be like, oh yeah, come out and visit me. or they're worth visiting once a year in Chattanooga. Or, well, sorry, that's where I live, guys. So apply it to whatever city you live in. Um, it's you're just starting to recognize that no matter how I act, I need to feel proud of myself, and I need to look back in a way where not only was it worth it, but I want to look back on memories fondly, and I want to start taking people along with me. So you might be considering being in a relationship. Maybe let's read the rest of the cards for that. Okay, in the recent past, like you got the soulmates card there. So whoever it was with the conflict, it it know that it was a close relationship. Let's give Cancer some details here. What do they need to hear? And what about the other person? Give us some information on the other person. Wow. Oh my God. This was an important relationship, Cancer, to both of you. It was a very important relationship to both of you. It was very like up close and personal and like soul level closeness. So you guys both touched each other's hearts. Just know that. Um, let's be a little snoopy and let's talk about the other person first before I get back to you. It looks like when you met that person was definitely at like a spiritual crossroads. It's kind of like they got off their path a little bit in life and they were like just kind of lost, dazed, and confused and like not serving their purpose. Whether that purpose was to like be a mom, be a, YouTube channeler, like your purpose is your purpose. It doesn't have to be something big and bold and 7 figures or even 6 figures. But it's like they got lost and off of it and like interacting with you got them like back up to the plate. So being with you really brought them into a lot of alignment and like really helped them shift to like get to, so it's like the bridge card, like interacting with you got them, they were lost away from the bridge because like the bridge card is when you need to cross a threshold to start living life in a new way. And like the person needed to do this, but they got lost. And the spirit guides are saying, exactly who we're talking about. They were pretty blunt and bold about their lostness. It is time to let them go. You both served your purpose in each other's lives. It's time to let them go, though. You have nothing more of value to give them or to gain from them. But it's just okay. Ooh, wow, I've never had the spirit guides come in so brutally that way. You got them back onto the bridge that they could think about crossing it. And the person is doing well right now. They do think back fondly of you, just so you know. They don't hate you. They think back very fondly of that time together. There's a little confusion. They're like, I don't see how that erupted that fast, that brutally. I don't fully get it. But it was a good time. It was well worth getting to know them and spending my time that way. They're definitely now in a state where they're like forward thinking and daydreaming about their life again and like, ooh, what do I want to create next in my life? So hanging out with you is definitely well worth their time. And like, there's definitely, they don't hate you. They don't think negatively about you. They're not thinking about you too much, to be honest. But if that topic were to come up, it would be that was well worth spending my time in that way and getting to know that person. And there is a sense of nostalgic of, oh, that like with that being around that person, I got back on my path. It looks like they didn't take steps of action on their path when they met you, but you got them to the path and they were like, oh my God, thank you. I was like so lost. So you were important to them. This person was very important to you too. Wow. Guys, I teach about this in my Becoming Who You Really Are course. There's like three different types of relationship: season, reason, lifetime. Lifetime are the people that you integrate with on the day to day. You can run a household together, raise a family together. You're in touch with them throughout your whole life, okay? Those tend to be calm relationships. You don't get a lot of personal growth from those relationships because they're just more the, how was your day? Well, let me give you a hug. Hey, it's your birthday. Let's celebrate it. So it's really more about like the sharing of space, the sharing of a continuous story. I don't remember, it was probably some stoic person, but it was love is the witnessing of someone's life. So it's those people who just like witness your life. You're not supposed to get a lot of growth from them. The seasons and the reasons, those are the people who come into your life for a period. Sometimes it's 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 years, but it's for a time. Season implies it's good, reason implies where it's bad and tumultuous, right? If it's a reason, like, why am I dating this person who treats me like shit? It's a reason, and it's because it needs to be that bad for you to wake up and recognize that you need to love yourself more. Or it needs to get that bad for you to wake up and like realize, whoa, I'm doing something wrong. A season, like think of a season as when a kid goes away to summer camp for 3 months. Like you know full well going into it that whatever friends you make there, they're your friends for that 3 months. So you guys are gonna have fun, you're gonna be kayaking, fishing, all kinds of fun stuff. At the end, it's like, okay, well, write letters to me. Well, I guess I just showed my age there. I guess now you guys would just keep texting or whatever. But it's a season you came together for. Um, so this person made you want to find your path. To you, it was clearly obvious that they like got off their path. And just know that the last conversation that you had with them, and like a conversation, not the little bickering you guys had, the conversation, it got them back to, oh my God, here's my path. And so it's like you kind of recognized how lost they were, but you really liked something about like, how do I say this? You weren't inspired by this person. It was more that you found it inspiring how committed they were to their path, even how lost they were. So it's now got your mind thinking towards, do I have, is there something that I can be that inspired towards, that even if I'm like lost and in shambles, I'm still like, no, I got to do it. I got to keep going. Because it's really like the cards are just, you saw how lost and in shambles that person was, but they were like, no, I've got to do it. And they're really emphasizing, just know that that last conversation you had really got them back on their, oh, I'm back up to the batting plate. Now I got to pick the bat up and bat, right? And Spirit's saying you see them doing it. So really like cheer them on in silence. We don't encourage interaction. Cheer them on energetically and in silence, and just hold good energy between the two of you. That's really all there is for it. And just note that you did take a little inspiration for the person, and it's got your mind starting to think towards, is there like do I have a life service? Do I have a life mission? That's where you can be like, I learned that from that person. I'm sad we're not in contact anymore, and it feels like we can't be in contact anymore. But that person definitely woke me up to get me to start thinking about, maybe I have a life mission. And it's something about this person really got you out of career, focus, work, achievement, accomplish. And it's making you want it to like, maybe there's something I could do that I love doing. But the next card is 10 of Lotuses. So you're now kind of fully recognizing a lot of the emotional fulfillment that person brought to your life. And so this person was also there to help you like break open and to recognize the value of friendship, companionship, and not just, someone like that you're in a bowling league with that you guys meet twice a month or every week and like, hey, how you been? It's like those person where you guys have deeper conversations. Or you guys have like come to a lot of the same conclusions about life together. So you can go somewhere and it's just going to be more fun because you can talk a little bit more free, knowing that you guys have come to a lot of the same life conclusions. So you're really starting to recognize that depth, and recognizing that a good chunk of your happiness actually did come from them, and not like your happiness with your overall life contentment, but like it's like at the time you were kind of like pushing them away, like, no, you're a distraction. Not quite a distraction, but I don't know how to put words to it, but it was like a no. And now you're like, oh, wait, it was their friendship, their companionship, their love, their mentorship that I didn't realize how much emotional fulfillment that was giving me. And it really woke you up that that's important in life. So it's kind of like you got that person to the bridge so they can then make their own choice to cross it or not. Again, the spirit guides are repeating, you have enough evidence to see that they've done it. The best you could do is literally just picture sending them like light, send them love and light and go, I wish you well. I see you're on your path. I hope you keep it up. And they're like, and then let it go, let the topic go. And it seems like what this person gave to you was that they gave you like the last piece for your map. Because it looks like you have been a studious person for like, how do I approach life? What's a good life philosophy? And this person, like, you knew you were on track because you've been feeling and doing so much better, but there's like a, but, I don't have that fulfillment, that satisfaction, that like there's a missing piece. And it's like this person was just to awaken to you, like, this is what it is. So now you have like, I now have the full map. So I know all the criteria, all the areas of my life I should be focusing on to have a full, complete life. Thank you, person, for highlighting that. I'm sorry that it's not you. Kind of, damn, sorry. This is, I mean, this is heartwarming, but also brutal, Cancer. Sorry, man. Um, okay, so now going on to the recent energy. Well, it looks like going right now, it's almost like a, if I can't have that person in my life, there's gonna be a missing piece in my heart. I don't want to make it sound dramatic. I mean, take what the advice just was, that it's, they weren't supposed to be like the one for whatever it was, mentorship, client, friend, lover. You're viewing it as a, well, damn, they taught me this and showed me this. Why can't we enjoy that now? Well, now I'll never have it. When instead you need to view it as, wow, that person really awakened me to the value, the significance, and the importance of this. Universe, I need this in my life. Who's the mentor for me? Who's the life mate, husband, wife for me? Who's the long term friend, companion for me? Like, they were just there to show you, hey, you got to include this in your life for it to be happy. So switch your mindset and how you're viewing it. Positively focus, law of attraction. You're either going to focus on what you're losing and missing out on, or you're going to go, okay, call this in. And gosh, and the spirit guides are saying the other person's absolutely doing that. They are moving forward rapidly. You'll soon even see greater outer success for the other person. If anything, use them as inspiration, kind of like as a, all right, well, if she can do it, and I know I've read more books than her or him, change the gender, guys, to whatever's appropriate. If they can do it, then I can. It sucks. I guess we were a season, but okay. Um, and there, we really want to emphasize, like, the person does not hate you. They think fondly of it. They thank the time you guys spent together, because that person is so appreciative to be at the foot of the bridge, and like they're at that giddy state, you know, right before you go to college or right before you go on a 2-month road trip. It's like the, ooh, here's the bridge. I'm on it. Oh my God, I'm not lost anymore. I'm on my bridge. What's it going to be? So the person's actually starting to get excited about their life again. Um, this is interesting, Cancer. This is like very specific. Give me some comments below afterwards. And it looks like going into the future, it looks like going into the future, you're going to start prioritizing the like mystic, the spiritual plane, that God energy. And guys, if you, it sounds like what I'm gathering from this reading that you guys are a little bit more like analytical, a little bit more logic minded, maybe tech savvy. Um, you might like reading the book called Ecstasy by Robert Johnson. He writes them short and concise. And the reason why I'm saying him is because he combines his books from like Greek mythology, sometimes Roman mythology, and he like grounds it in psychology too. So he'll go, oh, psychology terms this, but we can return back to the myth to show the story. So he like weaves it in an enjoyable way to like learn something about yourself. And in there he says, the hardest truth for someone to accept is that the path to like ecstasy in life is embracing that God element, that faith element, that unknown. That, like, if you can't embrace that, you're never going to hit your peak happiness. So you guys might like that book. So it's, yeah, it's recognizing that you're just now open to discovering if there's like something out there like greater than you, bigger than you. Some of you might go to God, some of you might go to spirit guides. You're just now starting to want to like develop that a little bit more. And it kind of looks like you're starting to become aware that like you're a little bit more intuitive than you thought you were. You thought you were like analyzing and analytical, and nope, I make all my decision based on charts and research. And you're like, oh wait, how did I know that about that person? Or how did I know to look there? So you're kind of starting to go, there is something there. And that's what's really making you value that whatever friendship this was that ended. You're like, oh, that person purely relied on their intuition and they didn't do so bad. Maybe there was something. So they kind of like woke you up to that side too. Not a lot. They're spirit guides are saying that's like 10%. Listen to the rest of the reading more. Okay, so in terms of your personal power this month, your personal power, well, I say this month, but your personal power until I do your next reading, um, is honestly, you got to stop viewing that as a tragedy. Like, well, great. I took it for granted. I didn't know how good it was. Well, now I'm going to be doomed to not have that. Your personal power is like to not view the situation that way. Well, come on. What? Yeah, otherwise you're just always going to stay in your head, beating yourself up. Oh, and that's like the person, your friend, is at the bridge and they have to cross over. Like you're at a similar place. You're either going to stay in that place of self analyzing, getting in your head, wanting all the facts first, or are you going to be willing to cross over into that ecstasy from that book that Kelly talked about and cross over and say, okay, I'm going to do all my research, but I'm going to be willing to be like a little bit guided. Um, and that's when your heart is going to feel whole and complete and you're going to be like mended and you're going to be on to the next chapter of your life. So yeah, just it sounds like a beautiful relationship that you guys both helped each other get on your path. In terms of outside influences right now, like how other people who are in your immediate area trying to influence you. Oh, well, it looks like they're saying like don't overcomplicate it. And they're really encouraging you to make a new start. Like outside influences are like, don't overcomplicate it. Don't build a complex plan to get them back. Like, buddy, it's kind of time for you to start, going in a new way. There's other fish in the sea. There's more employers. But they're being very subtle in their nudge. But it almost looks as if they're getting a tiny bit exasperated at either how much you're talking about it or how much of your energy goes there. And guys, the only time you like overplay something in your head over and over and over, and I'm not talking if it's a trauma like abuse, you got to do trauma healing. But this was not trauma. This is if you're replaying something in your head that's not trauma, that only happens if there's an emotion that you haven't yet identified about the topic. It's called validation, and you could do self-validation. Google Gottman wheel, Gottman, Gottman emotional wheel. And there's people who have made spin-offs of it. No. Go to the original one. And what it's a circle of emotions. It starts with the inner circle, the core 4 emotions. People are going to argue if there's 4 or 6. Okay, whatever. Just look at the damn wheel. And start at the inner circle and go, am I happy about this? No. Am I sad? Maybe. Am I mad? Yes. And then go to the second tier because then they get more detailed. And then there's a third tier. There's 3 tiers. It's even more detailed. So kind of just explore those. And when you go, oh, that's how I feel, you'll kind of be able to release it and move on. I really hope that helps you guys. Okay, in terms of your hopes or fears for this month, well, you're kind of going through a growth of like opening up to creativity. You're either already feeling more creative or you're starting to recognize like the value of going to the symphony, starting to recognize the value of art. Before it kind of seemed like you were like stoic and like, that's a fun piece of art. I can't say I understand it though. If I analyze it from the viewpoint of God, I forgot all my art terminology and the different phases of them. If I analyze it from like I can't remember any of the terminology. Oh my God. If I analyze it from like the Renaissance era, it's a piece of crap. But if you look at it from the Roman era, it's a masterpiece and it really, but now it's kind of more like oh wow, I couldn't tell you why, but that picture, it moves me. So it's kind of starting to get you into like the valuing of art and creativity. And I'm going to throw Elon Musk at you guys because he's a tech savvy, smart, logical person. And even him, he's like, look at the women he's dated. Sure, yeah, maybe there've been hot messes for emotional maturity. I'm not going to comment on that part, but he saw a value in the arts. Okay, in terms of your outcome for this month, I want to see what this card. Yeah, it seems for this outcome this month, you're just, okay, I've got to grow. I've got to get better in this area. I at least, it's like you're going to resign, resignation, be like, all right, this is the area I've got to get better in. Just got to accept it. The person's not coming back. We're not meant to be in each other's lives anymore. I'm glad to have heard that I helped put you at your bridge to cross over to serve in your world service. And thank you for opening me up and showing me the last piece. So for me to find full fulfillment in life, I'm, if you want to use law of attraction terms, it's almost like in a place where like, well, universe, show me how I can get really good at this area that they showed me. Show me how I can move towards happiness. I'm ready to feel whole, complete, and fulfilled. So if you want me to take this leap of faith that the Ecstasy book talks about, I'm taking a leap of faith. Show me how. Um, and that's going to be a really fun journey for you, Cancer. It's going to be a really fun, emotional, heartwarming opening journey. I'm like crying from feeling the vibrations of how much you're going to like open up and enjoy life more. It's not so much enjoy life more. It's more like you're going to open up and see the beauty of life more. You're going to move from stoic, this is the meaning of life, to this is the beauty of life. All right, Cancers, I hope that helped. I do go live Monday through Friday. I won't make the November 22nd, but I go live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern time for free, 30 minutes every day with free mini reads. If you want to come hang out, I'd love to see you there. Bye, guys.